Go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Hipfire Podcast. This one is definitely going to be a special one for sure. So, a quote we want to read out: "This guy is truly the next up. He turned just 18 today, yet as an absolute beam. He seems to be teaming with Exotic, Goonjar, Onyx, and Pentagram. He was consistently the best player, dropping huge numbers in hardpoint while also putting a good chunk of objective time." Now, this was said on the ComCod Reddit by Potsy 6 months ago about our guest. He details our guest is one of the next 100 AM players alongside Pred, Hydra Chain, Jimbo, and Defrag. He said our guest has been climbing the ranks in the AM scene and has made noise this year both on and off the game. Please welcome our guest, Luis Fire Rivera. How are you doing, Fire?
I'm doing fine. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
Uh,
coming on. So I think the first question we're gonna ask is, how did you first get into esports, and how did you come up with the name Fire as your gamer tag?
Esports, it was like back in Ghost. I had like a group of friends. We had like a team named like Animus, and we all played like they all had like the same names or whatever, and they play like GBs. And I ended up being on the B team, which I was kind of like frustrated. So I was like on the second team. So I was like very competitive like from the start. So like I tried like working to get on the A team or whatever, and I eventually did. But then they all ended up getting like PS4s and stuff and left me on PS3. So I got left behind. But once
uh,
I got a PS4, like I continued like like playing for money again. And I didn't really start playing for money till like Black Ops 3,
Okay.
really. Yeah. And can you ask the
Yeah, it
other
was.
question?
How'd you come up with the gamer tag
Oh,
Fire?
okay.
Yeah.
So in like Modern Warfare 2, like I didn't even play COD. In like Modern Warfare 2, my dad got me he got me Modern Warfare 2 for Christmas. And he literally just threw me on the PlayStation and literally like the name was Fire. Like my dad had the name. Like
Oh, okay.
yeah,
oh, okay.
he played COD before me. And I literally just hopped on and my name was Fire. I was like, all right, whatever, and I just used it. And literally since Modern Warfare 2, my name's been Fire. I never changed it.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
your that's a really cool story. Most people with their gamer tag, it's some like silly, like dumb
Yeah,
story, or
yeah.
Yeah.
like yours was like your dad playing COD. I don't think I've heard that's unique for sure. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So this has been your first year officially competing as 18. What do you make of the scene? Was it what you expected? Was it more difficult?
It was kind of like difficult to like how do I say this? It was kind of difficult for me to like take in me not like dominating, I guess you could say, because like I was like when everybody was underage, like all like the 18-year-olds now, when everybody was underage, I was considered the best underager, right? But I ended up being the last 18-year-old or the last 17-year-old to turn 18. Like Mac turned 18, Sib, Standy, Exceed, all those guys, they all turned 18 before me. And we were all like in like the same little like group. Like we were like the ones that were next up after Simp and Illy and those guys, right?
Yep.
So like I
Hmm.
like me sitting there like as a 17-year-old watching everybody compete, you know what I mean? Everybody's like just flying past me, you know what I mean? And then I turn 18 and I have to go through the gauntlet because everyone else already turned 18. They already
Hmm.
established themselves. You know, Standy got on Triumph, Sib got on Phase, Mac got on the Subliners, and Exceed got on Roker. You know what I mean? So like I'm
Hmm.
turning 18, not like I don't have nothing. And when I first turned 18, everybody was like, "Oh, Fire's like a high risk, high reward player because it's March and I don't have no pro points and nobody knows how good I am. They just know how good I am off of tens." And I
Hmm.
played tens. I played a lot of tens in during MW. So,
Yep.
but I ended up getting a chance to play with Exotic and Goon from Onyx, another amateur player, and they took a shot on me, and we ended up placing eighth our first tournament. And then they continued to play with me, and they realized because I ended up getting dropped actually from this team like 2 or 3 times, and they realized every single time that I got dropped, they did better. They did worse. And every single time they picked me up, they did better. So they're like, you know what, just keep this kid.
Just keep Fire. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say, like, dude, those tens matches. I've watched a couple of them on people's streams. You're dropping 40 bombs on the map, and every time I would ask someone about that, I'd ask like Assault or Exceed or any AMs or some of the pros about you dropping 40 and tens. It's like, oh, it's online. It's online.
yeah,
So what do
yeah. No,
you what do you think when people say that? Like, how do you
I
respond to that
mean,
kind of stuff?
I mean, like I don't have like any like beef with anybody, so like people are not gonna be like, oh, he's non-liner, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I talk to everybody. But like I don't know, like I feel like because people say that I'm like kind of blessed because of where I live, like my area, because I live in Chicago, so I connect with everybody. But
Okay.
like I don't know, like the whole like I don't know the whole online stuff. Like I never had a problem. It's probably because I live here, you know. But like I don't really care. Like I've been to like I don't understand what's like the whole issue with like I don't understand why people think like going from online to land like is like a big thing. Like I don't. It's Call of Duty. It's a video game. You know what I mean? Like people just say, oh, it's like it's because of the nerves or whatever. But like, what are you nervous about? You're playing a freaking video game, and like that's what like I tell them this all the time. And they're like, oh, well, watch when you see. I'm like, all right, bro. Like I don't know. I just don't get it.
I
Like,
I don't- I think your points are valid. Typically or historically in Call of Duty, the people that are good online are good on land. Like
Yep.
there's not a big discrepancy. Maybe there's a few outliers there, but for the most part, if you're frying online, more than not, you're going to be frying on land. So there's that to say. But I wanted to go a little bit backwards here for a second. Obviously nowadays I feel like esports is more normalized, so it's a lot easier to convince family that you can make a living here. But what did your family think about when you told them that you wanted to go pro?
I mean, my mom has been knowing about me playing Call of Duty, like playing for money, since I was like probably like 15, 16. So she already knew like she would ask me like when I was like a freshman or sophomore in high school. She would ask me like, "Oh, what are you gonna be doing?" And I told her I'm probably gonna be competing. Like I have to fly out. Like I would like explain it to her, and she instantly like she said that like I could do it. Like she said like whatever I wanted to do, like I was able to do it. She wasn't gonna hold me back, and it was all up to my dad. And then my dad, I never really like I live with my dad, but I don't really like we're not like close, if that makes sense, even though I live with
Mhm.
him. You know what I mean? So he didn't really know that I was playing for money until I started buying things. Like things would like come in, like I'll order things and like he doesn't think I'm ordering it. He doesn't know if I have money or not. So like he'll open the package, you'll see like, oh, it's a battle beaver, it's a scuff, like you know what I mean? Like small things like that. Like I'll just buy for my setup. And he's like, "Oh, what? Like you bought this?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you got money?" I was like, "I mean, I guess." And then like he'll then like my sister would tell him that I was making money. Like my cousins would tell him that I'm making money. Like it's like other family members will tell him that I'm making money, and then he was just like, "Oh, okay." So like he plays for money, and then what like literally like solidified me being able to like compete like fully was when COD came to online and he sat behind me for like two grand finals.
Oh, that's
And
pretty cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
like he was literally like sitting on my bed watching me play grand finals, freaking
Oh, that's nice.
going through it.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice to see families are more supportive nowadays because I know back then it was always you had to like prove to them that this
Oh
was a
yeah,
legitimate thing. So
Hmm.
that's
yeah,
really cool. But
yeah.
so
Like
what do you? Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say like literally like for my Toronto event that I ended up winning,
Yep.
my entire family was literally like in the living room, like on the TV. Everybody was just watching and just like watching Parasite stream.
That's really cool,
So
actually.
yeah.
Yes, you mentioned Haggy, so why don't we get into that because that's one of our
Hmm.
topics here. So obviously, you and Haggy had a pretty good relationship this year, both in game and out of game on the TL and stuff. And I just wanted you to describe that relationship. I know you tweeted out the picture of Luca and Dirk. Does that kind of describe the
Yeah.
relationship you have with Haggy?
Yeah, like me and Haggy, we're like really like the thing is, I respect all vets. Like I don't say like, oh, like these guys are old, they can't play COD anymore. Like you know what I mean? Like they're pros for a reason. And like
Hmm.
Haggy is somebody that I touched on because like a lot of people like always down talk Haggy because of his past. But like in my like I talked about this on stream. I'm happy myself that I got to know Haggy after like everything had happened. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like I don't know about the Haggy from back then. I remember the Haggy from back then, like because I was so young and like I knew the cutscene and
Yeah.
I'll see like, oh, like Paris said this, Paris said that. But like when I actually got to like know him and play with him, like I like saw like and like obviously he changed and I saw that and I was like, all right, like I don't know what people are talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like when Haggy joined, he instantly got on our ass like about like working harder and like going through like shit on the map together and like working together. Like Haggy was like the missing piece that we needed. Like we had Exotic and Goon like helping, you know what I mean? but
Mhm.
that one extra person like put us over that hump. Like we were consistently placing, but we weren't like making it like how do I say this? We weren't like threats like on Sundays, if that makes sense. Like we would make
You
it to
just weren't
Sunday,
clutching up.
but
Mhm.
yeah, like we weren't just like getting over that like that little hump that we needed to actually like win and make it a grand finals until we had Haggy. So
The championship mentality. I mean, yeah, when you based on COD game PD, the minute you and Haggy started teaming, you guys didn't place outside top four, if I'm not mistaken. So, that consistency definitely
Yeah.
stuck. But yeah, I guess you talked about it a bit already, but just to go a bit deeper, because we've seen obviously even like as recent as yesterday, I think people constantly talking down on Haggy, saying he's the same player, and he keeps talking about how he's changed his image, and he's definitely shown that on a timeline. As someone who teamed with him, what can you speak to? One, his in-game leading ability, and two, his positivity around the team. Is that something that was noticeable?
oh yeah, 100%. Like obviously like we're gonna get frustrated and stuff. Like when it's like when we're in game, like in tournament, like mid tournament, if any of us are losing full, like he'll try and like have everybody like regain, like you know what I mean? Because like if one person slips up, like it's like a domino effect. If one person slips up, everybody's just like it's just gonna like fall off. Like the flow of the game is just gonna fall off. So like he tries to keep everybody composed because like the thing is like Haggy is very passionate. Like all those tournaments that he was playing for, like literally he's literally surviving off of his stream and the tournament prizes. So like Haggy's putting like everything into it. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I
Yeah.
realize that. So like that's why I feel like that's also what made me like try even harder because I knew that someone on my team was going through that and and I respect them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like in game, like when he would like talk or like say anything, like even I would speak up in game, like tell like my teammates what we would need to do. But like Haggy would like literally go in depth. Like like after I remember the first tournament we played with Haggy, that same night that we didn't lose, but we went into losers bracket going into Sunday. That same night after we lost, we literally went through every single S&D map in depth that same night. I will never forget that. Like I
Yeah, that's
respect
dedication.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I respect Haggy a lot.
No, it's
What?
just nice to hear that. Like, is it? Sorry to cut you off. It's
Yeah, you
nice to
good.
hear that because we like so often like I know like I'll browse the comp COD Reddit and like people are like, oh, just give up on Haggy. Like
Yeah.
this guy's like so negative. He's never gonna play in the league again. But to hear from like his most like some of his most recent teammates, that he has changed. He's clearly motivated to. I mean, he's competing all this time. He's clearly motivated to get back in the league once again, and prove himself. It's nice to see that he has actually someone can validate that he has changed in that respect, in that regard. Um, but sort of moving forward, obviously that was some of the recent drama was with people, down talking Haggy. But we've also seen on Reddit a lot of people coming after you guys like you and Sib, unwarranted, in my opinion, based on the fact that we saw recently Mental, who's a Gears of War pro, uh, the most decorated Gears of War pro, and he's rumored, according to CDL Intel, to be having a sub spot in LAG. And obviously, given that we're moving back to 4v4, there's less spots in the league. A lot of AMs are obviously upset that we're not seeing top AMs getting these spots. Instead, they go into Gears of War pro, and a lot of people had a lot to say about this and you guys included. What did you think about that whole situation and what Reddit's been saying about you?
Okay, so like what I want to get out the way. I never said that like I was entitled to a spot. Like I only
Hmm.
competed for 5 months. So I knew it was a slim chance like that I was gonna get picked up. Like if I was gonna get picked up, it was only gonna be because of like all the people that are active on my Twitter and the viewers that I get on Twitch. Like you know what I mean? There's other ways of helping orgs as a sub, you know what I mean? And that's one of the ways.
Hmm.
Like me and Sib are like the top two 18-year-olds with like the most like exposure right now at the moment, right?
Like
So like why
brand.
yeah, like so why wouldn't you know what I mean? That's how I thought of it. I never thought I was gonna get picked up because of what I did competing. I like
Hmm.
obviously I only competed for 5 months. I only won one tournament. So I never said I was entitled. What I was trying to say was that I don't think there should be players from other titles in a Call of Duty franchise. Like there should be Call of Duty players in Call of Duty franchises unless they came from their title and competed and proved themselves. Then like you know what I mean? like it should be like a process. It shouldn't just be like, okay, this guy has a name, he's coming from this game, like, you know what I mean, just pick him up. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like that. Like, you know what I mean? There's literally AMs that have been competing for so long, and like they never gotten a chance, and then like a guy just comes from a different title, and just because he's won on that title and he has a name for himself, like he gets like a better chance on the spot. I don't feel like that's how it should be. Like they should like scout other people, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just sounds like corrupted in my opinion. Like,
I
I
think
don't know.
for a team like LAG, I know Mud Dog has said that it isn't necessarily a brand move. Granted, I think part of it is building their identity, considering that they seem to lack one, especially this year. They had Aches, and then Aches was on the bench for the pretty much the entire year, so really didn't have much of an identity outside of the team that played well in S&D and was pretty much garbage in respawn. So maybe mental was that move. But I definitely, we can see and understand like your guys' side of it, where it's like he hasn't, like, at least with guys like Shotzi. I know he didn't play a lot of variant, but actually
No,
I know
he
you
he
competed with
grinded.
him, and
Yeah,
you
Shotzi grinded
competed
like
with
a
him
4.
in
Oh
variant, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken,
yeah, I
Fire.
put a tournament with them.
So like at least Shotzi had that transition, whereas Gears, or not sorry, mental, at least from what we've seen, hasn't. We haven't seen him play COD in any sort of form. So uh, I mean, I'd imagine he'll be a great player. I mean, it's yet to be seen. But Seth, why don't you take the next question?
Well, I was just gonna ask. So there's a difference between obviously Shotzi and mental, like we said, but I also feel like there's attention that needs to be put on an AMs that have like a lot of potential, right? So when you pick up guys like Mac, you pick up guys like Awakening, pick them up for their potential, right? And I think for you and Sib, for that's what Org is gonna go for. They're gonna go for the potential of a certain player. And I wanted to ask you, so versus like that kind of pickup versus a guy like Parasite, where you kind of know what you're gonna get in terms of just skill. Like Haggy has a certain ceiling. I mean, you all kind of know it, right? Whereas a guy like you and Sib, we don't really know what the ceiling is,
Yeah.
right? So it's a little bit harder for orgs, I think, to pick up some of the veteran players. But do you think that this should be like an attention on picking up like a package, a veteran and an AMP player, or maybe the veteran can coach, and the AMP player can come in? Because the way I see it is like, New York's decision between John and Hydra. I don't know what's happening there, 100%, but it seems to be, start John, bench Hydra, and then if Hydra turns out to be good, the next title you start him. But so where do you see your value compared to a guy like Parasite, and kind of tease that a little bit?
Um. I don't want to like. Let me see. I don't
Yeah,
want
and
to
it's tough.
say
Yeah,
the. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like as a player like myself, I don't feel like I don't want to. Oh my god, that sounds kind of bad. Okay,
No,
so
I.
I don't want. I don't.
You're good.
Yeah,
You to
yeah,
slander
yeah.
Haggy or anyone?
We're not
Obviously,
No,
you're
no,
slandering
no,
Hip
no, no,
Haggy.
players.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to slander, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like since I'm like very like matured, and like people realize that like like literally I was labeled in the community as the slowest 18-year-old. Literally the slowest 18-year-old. So like the thing is like I'm like all the other like I guess like pros, like top players, like everyone's like, oh, you don't need to get cracked, you know what I mean? Like if you just play the
Okay.
game correct, like type stuff, you know what I mean? Like I don't need to like get cracked, get in the mix, like to play my game type thing, you know what I mean? Like people think you need to be like that, running at people, challenging stupid stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like that. Like I
Yeah.
like listening to my teammates and like knowing how to. I want to be able to play the game correct and like play the game to like on like its maximum potential type stuff. Like you know what I mean? Like have the team play to its maximum potential. Like it's I don't need to like run around and get cracked and like make superstar plays. Like that's how I am. So like I feel like as a young age, like me knowing that and me being like that, I feel like I could like be a better like pickup like over certain like vets.
Hmm.
But also at the same time I would rather like be in like cause me, I would rather play with like a team of vets than play with a team of amateurs. That's just me. I've
Okay.
always
That's
said that.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So like I would do the 2-man package. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I would play with the vet. Like any
Mhm.
like I would play with Aches, I would play with Haggy, you know what I mean? Like I'll play with any of them, and
Hmm.
I feel like I would be fine.
Because yeah, there's. I was gonna say there's that rumored sub duo of like Apathy and Vivid. Again, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But if it does, like that kind of sounds like it'd be something you're looking for, where
Yeah,
you can team closely with one of the veterans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I like playing with like the veterans, like people that like know more than me. So like
Hmm.
they
Mhm.
teach me things, and I'm like, all right, but so
Oh, for sure. It's sort of piggybacking on that for guys or for people in the COD community that don't know you too well. Could you help us like describe what role you have in game, and if you could today that you think your play style compares to?
I mean, I'm a flex. So I think my role, hmm, the way that I play. Let me see. Let me think. I mean, I used to always get compared to Cellium, but like
Okay.
I don't know if he like played did he play flex?
He
I'm not
he was
sure.
a flex on plays for majority of the first
Majority of
half of
the
the
year.
season. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like I don't know. Like playstyle wise, like people only see me play MW, and MW was kind of like a iffy game, so I don't really want to go off of that.
Hmm.
But like I was just a flex, you know, like I just like I before I even turned 18, like everyone saw me like run around with the sub, like everyone saw me
Yep.
run around with the
That's
sub.
what I've seen. Yeah.
But like people don't know when I was underaged, I always ran an AR. Like
Oh, okay.
in jetpack
Okay.
CODs, I always ran an AR. But for some reason on boots, for some reason I run a sub. Like I think I'm more of like a hybrid, like a Maddox, like the Maddox was like the perfect gun for me because like I could
Okay.
run around
Hmm.
and it was
Yep.
an assault rifle. So like just put two and two together, and I ended the freaking Maddox ended up being that gun. So like going from a game from BO4 to MW, like the MP5 was basically like the do it all gun. So I just like
Yep.
kept using that, and we like people don't need like designated mains, like two designated mains. We only need one. So like they were just like, you know what, just pull out an AR whenever you want. I was like, all right, but that's how I played.
I was gonna ask you if that impacted your S&D play because I went through a lot of VOD to get some clips and kind of get more of your gameplay, and I noticed that in search, what happened, like you got stuck in a lot of positions that I see with Hook, where you try to make an aggressive play and just get cut off and get blooded.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that. So how do you try to balance that aggressive play style but also stay alive?
Um, it's like more like of a play thing. Like I like in S&D, we only do like plays. Like we'll do like strats and stuff like that, right? So
Hmm.
since I'm a flex, depending on whatever strat it is, it'll be like whatever gun I use. You know what I mean? Type
Yep.
stuff. So like it's just like a communication issue at that point. Like if I'm running around and I get caught in the open, like it's probably just like because I like nobody was communicating or like I just made like a wrong move or something. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
if I'm like most of the time if I pulled out a sub and I was like hitting something, I would hit it to get a pick and then like just try and stay alive. If I'm hitting something to get a pick and then I'm still challenging, like that's just bad on my part. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's more just
Makes sense.
like of a strat kind of thing. So like you know like I like in a strat like you have a job. So if you don't like do your job, obviously if you don't do your job correctly, obviously it's gonna go bad. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I was just that's what made me think of Hook right away. Is like on the Empire, he had the same kind of role as you, like try to go in there, make some, get a pick. I remember like on Gunrunner, I saw him doing stuff that you would do too, where like you just kind of run through bathrooms and try to get into green and try to get a pick
yeah.
there, or get caught in you. So it was I don't know, it's interesting to see your playstyle in Search because I know a lot of these other young kids in Search like Sib, Snipe, or play a bit slower and kind of take it more. I don't want to say baity, but it's more like hold angles and that kind of stuff. But when you with you, you're a lot more aggressive, and that was kind of nice to see.
Yeah, like my teammates want me to use like people know that I have like really good gun skill, like top tier gun skill, but like I like don't use it all the time. But like when I do
Okay.
use it, like it's good. Like in like during like champs, like and the Toronto event, like I was literally like just straight like using my gun skill, getting in people's face because people don't expect that from somebody like me,
Yep.
especially like when I'm labeled as the slowest 18-year-old. People do not
Yeah.
expect a fire freaking 5-5 running down middle, like hitting green or whatever, or hitting you.
Yeah.
Like people do not expect that. So
Do you
you
know
know.
where that label came from? That slowest player?
Um, Honestly, I don't know. I think it's because like people like watch my gameplay and like people don't see me like just running at people, double sprint jumping at people. You know what I mean? Slide cancel, challenge everything. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people just don't see that, and they're just like, oh, well, the fire is like the slowest one. Like you see everybody else, they're over here getting cracked. Their clips are all crazy, and then you
Yeah.
see my clips. It's like I'm literally just like getting to a spot, like centering, like shooting people. You know what I mean? Sliding away. Like I don't know. It's just like I like the way that I play COD. I play COD to like there's okay, so like in Black Ops 3, me and like Cellium, he grinded
Mhm.
Black 1v1s. And
Yep.
he said that the way he plays for like damage. Like he'll peek shoot people, you know what I mean? Like get them weak, like shit like that. Like he'll like just be annoying on the map. Like that's
Mhm.
how that's what I like I took that to like to 5v5 and like competing. So like if I already know where they're coming from, I'm just gonna stay centered and just let them come to me type thing. Like just get ready for it. Like be centered. Let them come to me. You know what I mean? Like people, I don't have to run at people. Like the game, like let the game play for you. You know what I mean? Let it be easy on yourself. You don't need to get in the mix. Like you could get in the mix and like get kills or whatever, and like open up the map for your team. But like I don't know, like you can do that, but you can also simplify the game for yourself and like play slower and let them come to you and let them make the wrong decisions. You know what I mean? Like just play like a rat. Like you don't have to be challenging every gunfight. Like you know what I mean? So that's how I play the game.
Do you think going back to 4v4 will help suit your playstyle more? Because
Sounds like it
a,
will.
a lot of people have talked about how like going back to 4v4, even just yesterday with all the discussion about Looney, it's like you don't necessarily need a cracked out player, or it's not at least as important now because with 4v4 it's a lot more methodical, a lot more easier to get their team on the same page. So do you think 4v4 helps suit, will put you in a better position to succeed?
Yeah, or I do because I've been playing COD for so long, and I literally quit COD in BO4. Like that's how you know that like these CODs were
Uh,
not made for you. Like the last two titles, BO4 and MW, I didn't like them whatsoever, and both CODs were 5v5. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
mhm.
in BO4, I literally quit because I didn't like the game. I didn't like the way that the game was played. Like it was all like crack aim, freaking jiggle peek, slide cancel. Like I didn't
Standard
like all
shit.
Dude,
that. Like
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's not Call of Duty to me. Like five guys hitting a lane, that's not Call of Duty. So like I feel like in 4v4s, like more two pieces and like more kills like that like would actually like benefit the team because like
Mhm.
a two piece means nothing in 5v5s. Like literally,
Mhm.
it means nothing. So
Yeah.
like in four is like you kill two people, that's half the team right there. You know what I mean? You get a
Mhm.
pick, like you get a pick, and like you set up, especially on a ground card. Like if you get like an S&D, you get a pick, you set up, like everybody has everything. Like it's so hard like to break. I feel like in fours, like rather than in fives, because like I don't know. I feel like in fives, everyone's taking on like their ones. Like everyone's just like you know what I mean. Like just everybody's just running around like taking on ones. I feel like in fours is gonna be a lot different. So
It'd
I
be
feel like
slower
it's
for sure.
more structured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of going back to your time in the AM scene this year, what is it like dealing with the stress of like AM roster mania? Did you have to deal with that at all, or were
No,
you sort of removed from that situation?
no. Roster like the AM roster mania. I literally teamed with Goon and Exotic the entire time. Like my
Yeah.
that was
Mhm.
the first team I got on, and like basically the entire time I was competing, I was with them. Like I'm pretty sure I ended up
Okay.
teaming with before they even picked me up, I was teaming with Llama God, Swarly, Chan, and Gorgonite, and then
Oof. Yeah.
I was teaming with Zinx. Who was it?
Yep.
Zinx,
To
Dilo.
perform and clamp, I believe.
Yeah, oh yeah, those guys. Like I was playing with them, and I don't know. Like I couldn't see myself playing with other like amateur players. Like I don't know. That's why I was like, you know what? Like if I get like my best offer and like I know that they're good, like I'll stay with them. But like
Mhm.
I don't know, like amateur teams, like full amateur teams, like the potential is only like so much there. Like you know what I mean? Like it's only like
Mhm.
there for like a certain period of time, and like it's all up to like all the amateur players like to like go above and beyond and do what they need to do to win games, and like not all amateur players are able to do that. You know what I mean? There's a reason why there's top AMs, you know what I mean, and then like regular AMs that just compete. So like
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
my mind, I was thinking, okay, like if I'm able to team with like the top AMs or the pros, like I'll just take the opportunity and run with it. You know what I mean? Like just
Mhm.
take that to like make the most of it and like just get better as a team together. And that's what I wanted to do with Exotic and Goon. Like we already like built that relationship for teaming for so long, and like we were already like close as teammates. So like I was just thinking like in my mind, okay, these guys are vets. They were in the league for a reason. You know what I mean? Like why would I not sit here and just listen to them and like you know what I mean? Like progress with
Mhm.
them.
Well,
You
that's a,
said you.
yeah. I was gonna say that's a big difference between the EUAM scene and the NAM scene. Is like the so what I noticed right away is the comms, right? So outside of your team, a lot of the other AM teams that were just strictly AM players, their comms were awful.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it was like he's one shot, he's one shot. That's all you hear. It's like someone's one shot and someone's somewhere on the map, right? But with you got with your team with Haggy and with like the EU teams with Dave with Whalers, right? It was a lot more structured. It was a lot more of like actual call outs and plays to run and stuff like that. So I think making the decision to team with vets is definitely helpful for that reason. You know, you get much cleaner comms.
Oh yeah,
That's a good
100%.
point.
Yeah, 100%. When I first turned 18, like John would always like I was like that at some point. At
One shot, yeah.
when I first yeah, like when I
Yeah.
first turned 18, like because I never played like with the team like that, like with like structured like that, like until I turned 18 and ended up playing with them. So like when I came from being underage to 18 competing, and I ended up competing with John, John would always tell me that my comms are horrible. Like I would literally just screen always one shot, like like
Yeah.
how you're saying, like the comms were just horrible. And then John would tell me, "Oh, those are just useless call outs." You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's all just useless. Like, okay, he's one shot. Like, we get it. But like, what are you holding? Where is he at? Like, you know what I mean? Like type stuff. Like, what do you have? Like, what do I need to pick up? Like, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
being aware of like what's going on the map, and like looking at your mini map. Like Haggy taught me. Like Haggy brought up something to our team. Like reading the pressure and then reacting to it. Like learning how to react to a situation that's going on the map, and like you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Like AMs like won't do that. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
horrible. I've heard that. I've heard the
Yeah.
comms do. They're terrible.
yeah, like like AM comms and like the way that they like go about things in game. I guess you could say like the way that they like try and like break a hill or something, or like game map control. Like they don't work together. Like some of the AM teams do it, but not like literally like most of the teams don't do it. Like
It
only
took
like the
FaZe a
top
while.
AM
It took
teams.
FaZe a while to do that because at the beginning of the
Yeah,
year, FaZe were horrible at that. I remember like Venom would spawn his team out over and over again. I'm like, bro, stop. Just slow it down. Like it's chill.
yeah,
Yeah.
But then towards the end of the year, they picked it up. But
yeah.
No, it's something nice to see because I know there's a big stereotype in the COD community from like about AMP players. Like, as you said, they're entitled. They think they know the best. They're not going to listen to these vets. So to see someone like yourself is very humble, in my opinion. He's willing to listen to those vet players. I think if you're a team looking to pick someone up, I think that's something that opens your eyes because
has to
we've
be.
seen
Yeah.
AMs in the past. They clash with the vets. There's constant infighting, toxicity. But with you seem to like be really receptive to all of that, and I think that's something that people got to pick up on. But sort of switching the story here a little bit. Is there a reason that your team didn't necessarily get an org until the very end of the year with 5-star? Is there a reason you guys waited so long to sign to an
Um,
organization?
no, we signed to teams for like one tournament,
I
like
noticed that.
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we put like they paid us, but like
Mhm.
I don't know, we never really like looked like you know what I mean. Like we never like really like looked for an org. It's all online, so like we didn't really
That is
like
true.
care.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
only reason why we only got that org because Haggy wanted to go to Texas and he needed like an Airbnb or whatever. So that's literally like that's all it
Oh,
was.
okay. I
Like
see.
we didn't need an org like really like no orgs like I didn't tweet like we didn't tweet out for an org or anything like that. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
I
sure we did
noticed
at
that.
some point, but
Yeah.
like we didn't like do anything about it. Like we didn't like hit orgs back or like you know what I mean. But like
Mhm.
Haggy like he needed it and like to get the Airbnb in Texas and like to fly out to Texas and they paid for all that. So
All right.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. Um, so sort of, I guess we gotta kind of ask this question. Obviously, with the move to 44 and the whole roster mania, has any organizations or have you been speaking to any organizations about potentially being that sub spot now that they've at least made it so that subs can play in the AM scene?
Um, Not really. Like people are telling me that like right now like most teams don't even have subs yet, so like don't even worry about it. But
Hmm.
like at this moment, like they're still finalizing like their final rosters. So like
That's true.
there's a lot of teams that don't even have like their actual like starting rosters made. So like we still got to give it some time before they start like hitting people up like to be subs, and like I'm fine with that. So
Is there like a ideal dream team that you like to be a sub for, or does it not matter
um,
to you?
I mean the ideal team would be like Chicago because
Hmm.
I am born in Chicago.
Hmm.
So I would like really want to play for Chicago, and like I respect Hex and like the way that he goes about things. So
Hmm.
I've always like looked at Hex as like a inspirational person.
It's nice to
Yeah,
hear. Yeah.
yeah. Hex is a godfather to everyone. So I mean that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Huntsman hit this guy up, but uh, moving forward, you say Hex is an inspiration. Were there any other players in the COD scene that sort of were an inspiration to you and inspire your play style? As you've been on the come up.
The only other person was like I guess like Illy and Cellium, because like Illy talks to me and he always tells me like he always used to give me advice. Like he told me that like I should always like get a PC. Like he always told me that I should have gotten a PC and like I should have been streaming like from a long time ago and like I probably would have been like so big now. So
Mhm.
like Illy and Cell, because Cell, like we always went at it like I've been knowing Cell since AW. We were literally in the same like pub clan in AW.
Wow.
What a
That's pretty
coincidence,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we were in the same clan in AW. They literally had us sit there and 1v1 each other, like the two youngest kids in the clan. Like who would have thought that, like, you know what I mean? Like we're both like years later,
Yeah.
this guy's in the pro league and you know what I mean? And like I'm competing, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. So then in Black Ops 3, he played 1v1s and people saw that I was good at hardpoint. They're like, "Oh, play Cellium, play Cellium. He's like the best one." Cuz like I ended up beating all the hardpoint kids and the only guy I couldn't beat was Cellium. So like I would literally go into theater mode, watch what Cellium would do on every single hill, and then go and play him and remember everything that he was doing on every single hill and like prepare for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he like before I even competed, I inspired to be better than Cellium himself. Literally before I turned it, like before I even wanted to compete, I wanted to be better than Cellium himself. And then once Cellium quit, and I ended, or he didn't quit, but he quit playing the hardpoint tournaments, and I like basically like won every hardpoint tournament from like IW all the way up until MW. Like I literally won every
Mhm.
single hardpoint tournament. Like nobody was able to beat me. And so I was like, all right, like you know what I mean? Like I made it, I guess, like in my mind, in like my little 14-year-old mind, I was like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like so like really like inspire, like I've never like pushed myself to be like that good at a video game until I met Cell. And like Cell
That's
probably
cool.
doesn't even
That's
know this.
crazy.
Yeah, like Cell probably doesn't even know that like I tried so hard like to be as good as him. But I mean I'm cool with him now. Like I was talking with
Yeah.
him yesterday, so we're friends now.
That's crazy that he inspired you that much way back when, before you guys, yeah, obviously have made it big. So more about that AW clan. Sorry, that was really funny to me. They made you two scrim each other. Like was this
Yeah,
clan
yeah.
any good?
No, it was like a clan battling like type thing. It was just like
Oh,
six
okay.
like
Oh,
nine
okay.
v nine. Yeah, like 9v9, 6v6 type thing. And like me and So were in the same clan. I'm pretty sure it was called like Void or Sin or something like that. And this guy was like that I knew that I've been knowing him since like Modern Warfare or no, not Modern Warfare 2, like Black Ops 2, like back on freaking
Mhm.
PlayStation or
Yeah.
PS3 or whatever. When I got on PS4 and AW, he was like, "Oh, there's this other little kid, like, you know what I mean? He's really good. Like, you guys are both the youngest in the clan. Like, play against him. I want to see who's better." And he joined the party. Didn't say a word the entire free for all. We went up to 30, and he beat me like 30 to 15, and didn't say a word. He literally just smoked me and just left the party just like that.
Wow. You can do
Yo,
2 phase up.
You can do two.
yo, and I literally didn't talk. I literally did not speak to Cell in a conversation from that day all the way up until like BO4. Literally did not speak
Jesus.
to him.
Wow.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy. Just silent killer there. But
Yeah.
Seth, why do you take the next question?
Well, I was gonna go into the clips now if you want, and then we can
Oh
get
yeah.
into the one in the chamber to wrap it up. So let's see if this works this time. 'Cause we had a better problem last time. But share screen, OBS, and then go to the pop-up. Boom! Look at that efficiency. All right.
There we go.
All right. So the first clip, I know you talked about playing a more methodical game style. But this was one clip I had to show just because I wanted to hear what the comms were like in this clip. Let's see, play here.
In the hill, starting to spawn out. Look at player 0, Dilo on the flank. Can he stay alive? It looks as if he does find the first pick. They're going to try and collect together and try to make a little bit of a 3-man push. Is it going to be successful? We're about to find out. The old man holding well, not dropping, staying consistent, taking down player after player. And this is when Vengeance is starting to get scared. Like you said,
What
I
is
don't
with
remember this or not,
Vengeance?
about
but
the rotation.
And this is not a great spawn for Vengeance. They're going to have to turn tail and just immediately book it. They're going to get here first, but again, look at the clock. It's going to be 2:48 to 2:34, just 2:47 actually. Fires up.
Oh my god, I remember this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Fires found one. Fire doesn't even need a gun. Bring a knife.
Oh my god, I remember. I was like, bro, I just ran in there with a knife. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna
Bro,
ask, what was that like? What were the comms like in that moment?
bro, honestly, like, I don't even think I even called out. I don't even think I told him I was doing that. Like, I just saw that like there was a smoke, and I was like, bro, screw it, bro. I literally just went full noisy mode. Like Noisy's known as like the guy to run in the smoke with a knife. Like I was like, bro, I just
Mhm.
went Noisy mode.
Yeah, I saw that clip, and the first thing that went through my mind was like, I wonder if he told them though. Like, I wonder if he said, "I'm gonna go knife
Oh
with you."
no,
Just
no. If I don't even think they even knew that even like if I gotta show I probably gotta show this clip to them, but like they didn't even know that happened probably. I literally just
that was
ran in there.
insane.
Like I saw smokes. I knew that some of my teammates were behind me. I was like since I'm first in line, let me at least make them weak. And then I was like, you know what, this guy's not even, you know what I mean? Like the guy doesn't even know what's going on. Let me just run in there with a knife.
Yeah, that clip's not as crazy, but I think it's a good clip to show like the clutch thing you're talking about and how you can play more methodical towards late games. Let's do that.
Yeah. Like I feel like I have like a wide range of like I have like a really like wide like skill set. I feel like
Yep.
the only thing I've never like really like used was like a sniper.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Someone did the math for sure.
Yeah, I see so many amps these days. Hitting shots with the sniper, especially guys like Illy.
Oh yeah.
I just want to talk about this play because it's getting kind of close and it's getting kind of hairy. You like start neutralizing A and then you pull them back.
Oh
And then,
yeah.
like right about here, it's pretty much over. But what was that? So in that kind of scenario, when you pick up like 3 mid map and you push to A, in those kind of situations, is that a lot of the teamwork comms coming through, or is that your own
Oh yeah.
decision to kind of?
Oh yeah. No. 100%. My teammates always told me like to like apply like on that map it's always A and C. Like B is like the like
Mhm.
it's like the secondary like like we don't prioritize B at all on that map. So like they always tell me like oh like push out mid. You know what I mean? Like I feel like every time like on that map when I would play with my team, if I held mid and I got map control mid map and my teammates just focused like B or whatever, like it made the game so much easier. And like if you're able to get kills mid and push like into A, you have to communicate with your team that you're pushed into A, so they're gonna start spawning C. So if I'm at A getting the rest of the kills, like pushing every like the remaining like the remainder of their team like that's alive, if they like come back and push towards me, like it's kind of like a split, like everyone on the map is split. And so if I take my gunfights how do I say this? Like if I take like smart gunfights and like I play my life, I can finesse and get those remaining kills and get those guys at A and cap A, you know what I mean? And then all my teammates are going to start spawning on me. So
Yeah.
if I get like best case scenario, if I get those kills and I cap A and my teammates uh back up to C and get those kills, you know what I mean? That's a triple cap right there. You know what I mean? I just opened up the map for my team. I just like basically like me doing that, I just cause chaos on the map and everybody spawning everywhere. You know what I mean? Everything gets
Yep.
hectic and it's in like the clutch, like it's at the end of the game, so everybody's like panicking. You know what I mean? So me making a play like that, I feel like really opened up the game and made everybody like scramble and like nobody like I didn't give Vengeance a time like I didn't give them a like how do I say I didn't give them like a chance to like to reconstruct or like to come back as a team and like make a team decision. You know what I mean? Like I literally just hit
Mhm.
them. So
Yeah, because if you died, so I'll watch that back. If you died mid there instead of killing the guy C and they start capping C, they could have trip capped there. And that could have gotten hairy. You
yeah,
get the
that's
kill going
yeah.
C, then you push through mid, and you stay alive on A long enough to pull them back off of B and to clutch it out. So that was like a really interesting play that I saw there. So that was
I feel like those are the plays that aren't talked about
no,
enough
they're
these
not.
days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're
one
always
hundred
looking for
percent.
the cracked out plays.
Yeah,
They're not looking for the
100%.
smart plays. And I
Yeah.
think those, especially in 4v4, are going to be so much more important. Like guys like I don't know, we like to talk about Illy especially because we feel like he isn't talking necessarily enough about his rookie season, about how many smart plays around the map he was
He's
making.
such a smart
Everyone wants to
player.
talk about the flashy plays from Shotzi or Cellium or Simp, but Illy's making these like small key plays that are helping them win the map. So it's nice to see another AM like that make those plays, and I think we should highlight them because they're very important. But do you have any other questions, Seth, or should we move to one in the chamber?
I had one more question before one in the chamber, and it was just so you and Sib, on Twitter can get a little cocky, and personally, I like seeing it. I want to see like attitude from these guys. Like I want to see AM players
Personality.
have a personality exactly. But I wanted to ask like with the situation with Vero and kind of how his career went, where it was kind of up and down, and it started out with Haggy just like yours did, right? Did you
Mhm.
kind of do you think that did you learn something from watching Pharaoh and Haggy go at it? I don't know if you did watch them or not, or
Oh
did you think Haggy learned a lot from that scenario as well?
from World War II.
Yeah, it was World
Yeah.
War II at the beginning
Yeah.
of the
Oh
year, and it was
yeah,
bad.
yeah. I don't know. I didn't really like. I don't know. I don't really know too much about that, to be honest. Like I just know I just saw like one clip and I ended up tweeting that clip. but like it was just as a joke. But like I don't really know too much about
Yeah.
that. Like
I was just
what happened.
wondering, yeah, because like it seems like you and Haggy got along great, and even though
Yeah.
you guys probably argued a lot, it seemed to work out. And with Pharaoh,
Yeah.
it didn't work out, and Pharaoh's career kind of went through up and downs, and now he seems like he's chill and back into the professional side of things. But what is it like for you guys coming in underage, now 18, and kind of establishing a level of like professionalism with COD being a career now versus being
Oh
like a
yeah. Yeah, the thing is like the whole like cocky thing. Like, are you trying to say like for like the tweets, like the Optic Maniac
not
tweet, like for
like not
example?
just the tweets, but just like the comms, between other players, and because I know Sib got caught saying some stupid stuff,
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
just that kind of
me.
stuff.
Oh yeah, me. I don't think. I mean, I don't think I've said anything on stream,
No,
have
you
I?
haven't. No, I'm just
No,
wondering,
no,
like,
no.
Okay.
just like the,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing is, like, I don't like. I was talking about this on stream the other day. Like, after all that happened on Reddit, I turned on my stream. I had like 150 viewers. Like, I
yeah,
was like addressing all the stuff that was happening on Reddit. I was like, the thing is, I don't want people to get the wrong impression of me. Like,
Mhm.
Haggy and John, like they would always tell me, "Don't troll on Twitter. Do not like your name is growing. Do not troll on Twitter." And like I was literally like I was sitting on my bed, like I was just listening to music. You know what I mean? Just not even like I wasn't even caring about COD. Like I wasn't even like you know what I mean? Like I wasn't even like feeling a type of way. I was like, just sitting on my bed, just thinking. And like I always just like just think about things, right? And I was thinking, I was
Mhm.
like, man, I was like Optic Maniac really beat the league. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, but like, it was just meant to be like a joke. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's still like in a serious aspect. I'm still thinking like, okay, like, why is he in the league? He doesn't even play COD. You know what I mean? And then people are saying, oh, but the content, whatever. Like, all right, that's fine. But like, I still just it just doesn't like rub with me the right way that like a player from a whole different title is in a Call of Duty friend. Like think of it like
Mhm.
this. This is I tried making like a type of example. So like think of it like
Mhm.
this. Imagine like Cristiano Ronaldo or whatever his name is from soccer
Yeah,
comes
no,
to the NBA and he's getting paid more than Zion because freaking it has a bigger name. Think of it like that, like
yeah,
type.
okay,
You know what I mean? Like what?
yeah,
Like Zion's like, bro, like this guy's freaking swole. You know what I mean? Like this guy's like, all right, bro, like I'm gonna be the next face of the league. But then this guy comes from soccer and gets paid more because this guy's name is huge and he was the GOAT in soccer or something. You know what I mean? Think of it like that. That's how I was thinking of it. Like I told my IRL that and he was dying laughing. So
no.
that's how I see it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
Like
can't
I'm
see
not even.
Ronaldo Duncan.
Yeah, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. But like the guy got the name. The guy's gonna bring all the fans. You know what I
yep,
mean? But
Yeah.
like like I don't like I'm not even trying to say that. Like people were trying to say, oh, like Optic Maniac doesn't deserve a spot, but Fire does. Like you know what I mean? But I do. I never said that. Like
Yeah, these are other
people.
people are saying on
Yes,
your
yes,
behalf, and they're
that's what I'm
attributing
saying.
it
Like
to you. Yeah.
yeah, like people are saying that. Like people are trying to say that I feel entitled. I don't feel entitled for anything. Like I'm literally just sitting here, just playing the game, trying to get better, and just learning from these old COD players, just trying to like perfect my gameplay. And just
Mhm.
if people notice that I'm getting better and like they want to pick me up, then so be it. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's fine. And like people are trying to like I don't know, just like put words in my mouth type thing.
Yeah, they'll,
yep,
they'll like because we've seen people like I know there was that tweet that claimed you and Sib were like better
Yeah,
than like the LAG, Toronto Ultra, and all that stuff, and then immediately Reddit attributes that to you and Sib, saying
yeah,
that when in actuality this is some I don't know who it was, some random person on Twitter claiming that you guys are better. That's not you guys saying that.
yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying. Like.
yeah,
yeah,
Like I've already said numerous times, like I have respect for players. Like they're pros for a reason. You can't knock a pro if they're in a starting position and they're playing the game. There's a reason. Like they were
hmm
actually good. Like people
yeah,
noticed they were good. So like you have to respect that. Like I can't say anything to them. You know what I mean? But
hmm
like people like there are also other people that are saying, oh, like they would have been able to start on any of the bottom teams. And then that starts up more arguments. Like I never said
yeah,
that. Like if people
yeah.
think
You
that
never.
like if people think that, just let them think that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's fine. Like
No,
people, like either some people are just gonna like understand where I'm coming from, or not. Like people, I know there was like I literally sat there and opened up every single Reddit post about me yesterday, and I was reading all the
That's
comments and
not
like
healthy, man. That's not healthy.
yeah, there's a lot.
yeah.
There's some people like there's a lot of people that are actually like supporting me. Like I don't know if you see my Twitter
I
recently.
was trying to, man.
Yeah,
It's not
I
easy.
saw Haggy was
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
talked about how Haggy was,
Yeah, Haggy was in there. Like people were like supporting me and backing me. Like Haggy was saying like, oh, he's trolling, and then there's other people that were saying that like I would like my point was valid. Like I wasn't even trying to make a point. Like all I said was or Maniac was in the league. Like I didn't forget. Like you know what I mean. Like that's
Yeah.
all that I said. I didn't say anything else.
Yeah.
So it took me to go on stream and like explain myself. But I don't even know if people like were in there like watching to see me like give a response or whatever. Like I
Mhm.
just started talking about it, you know. But I just don't want people to get the wrong impression of me. Like I'm still 18. My career hasn't even started. I don't want it to end before it even starts. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I just like I don't know. I'm just not gonna like troll on Twitter, I guess, anymore. Just not talk about other people on Twitter because obviously like Reddit takes it the wrong
Just takes it
way.
too far. Yeah.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah, there are times. I mean, especially with the whole like, if you say anything about Mbos or Maniac, you know, Reddit's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
have a reaction to that.
they're gonna like they have fans and stuff, and like people are gonna try and like or, like bring it and like try and use it to bring me down. You know what I mean? So I
I
mean
mean, they could
that's
be.
that's my fault because like exotic like I would do it like before but, like before I even got like really like people like started like liking my stuff and like noticing me and stuff like that. Like I would do it but like people wouldn't care, you know what I mean, because they're like, oh, who the heck is Fire. But
Yeah.
like they would always tell me like don't do it, and I literally just did it because like I like it was hilarious. Like I in my I thought it was hilarious, but I guess Twitter just thought otherwise, and I was like,
Yeah. Uh-oh.
yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to interpretate or interpret. You know, sometimes on Twitter. I mean, hey, these guys could be your future teammates. You know, you get
Yeah,
a
oh
show
yeah.
a subspot, Maniac and Bose. They're
Yeah,
gonna have words
yeah.
with you. No, but no, I get your argument. I know Hex responded to you saying that you know that subspot in actuality was never, or Maniac was not signed as a sub, or whether Bose was a sub or whatnot. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm guessing his point was that subspot was really never ever like going to be left for an actual AM player. It was always going to
Yeah,
be
that was
context.
the
Like they
idea.
never intended on using it, which at least now I think with how the CDLs changed things, having an actual sub will like be more beneficial because that sub can play in the AM scene. Whereas like last year we saw guys like Happy and
Censor.
Sensor was the only one I think that actually like genuinely wanted to play as a sub. The rest were just there. You know, Tommy, who knew he was never going to play for Dallas, even though I think he's extremely talented.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just guys like that. Like I think at least with the way subs are this year, it'll change, and hopefully we'll see guys like you, Sib, you know, Pred, Hydra, all get an opportunity because I think you guys are all talented. But you know, and hopefully we'll. I think everyone understands each other that it wasn't meant, you know, seriously. It was more of a joke, but I think sometimes people can take that out of context. But that's Reddit for you, you know.
Yeah.
We can get into one in the chamber now if you want.
Yeah, so let's get into our segment, one of the chambers. So as I mentioned, essentially, I'm gonna they're pretty like softball questions. I'm gonna ask you, and then you can only respond with one word. If you want to elaborate, feel free to. But typically, we just want a one word answer. So
Okay.
so first question: who is your favorite teammate of all time?
Hmm. Probably Haggy.
Uh,
So far,
big,
Haggy.
big guess. Who's the toughest player to kill on the map?
Ooh. Like in the AM or in general, or just like in the AM scene?
We'll say one for the AM scene, and then one like in general, if those are different.
AM scene. Last year, there was a lot. The most annoying, probably Sib, because like since I've been knowing Sib for so long, I do not want to die to him. You know what I mean? Type thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Pros probably Cell. I've been playing against that guy for so long.
Yeah.
That guy's a freaking headache.
Fair enough. What is one player you've always wanted to team with?
One player I've always wanted to team with. Uh, probably. Probably Cell, to be honest. I mean, I've been knowing him for so long, and I like playing with other people on the map that understand the way that I play, and like that we have similar roles, so I already know how they're gonna be on the map. You know what I mean? So like
Mhm.
a Sib or a Cell, like perfect, or like Dash. You know what I mean? Like they're both like all three of them. They're all flexes, so I already know like what they're gonna be doing on the map, so I don't have to like worry. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Starting up a little bit of drama with this question, but which AM player is overrated?
Overrated. I don't really know. I don't really know any AMs that are like rated so like you know what I mean, like
That's
besides
true.
besides like us. I don't know.
You
Really,
could skip that one. You could skip that one.
yeah, I don't really want to like give a name because like I don't really like know any AMs that are like.
Yeah, we were just baiting that question, to be honest.
Nah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
If you could create your own CDL team 5-man or 4-man roster, I should say, who would it be?
That's a hard question. Man, I don't know. As a main, I would probably start off with like Octane probably.
Mhm.
Another sub player I would want to play with on my team, probably Illy. He's very determined. I would really want to play with Illy as my sub.
Shout out to Illy, man.
And then if I force myself to run a sub alongside Illy, my flex I would probably have to have Dashy.
That'd be a filthy team. Illy,
That'd be
Fire,
disgusting.
Dashy, and
Goddamn.
Octane. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know how if you've traveled a lot, but what is your favorite city to visit?
I've never left
Really?
Chicago.
Okay.
Like I've only like traveled like to like a vacations, but like literally the only place I've been to was Wisconsin and Indiana. That's it. I've never been anywhere else. And Indiana is freaking horrible. I'm never going back. And then Wisconsin, I've only gone to like Wisconsin Dells. So like,
What's
it.
with what was the hostility towards Indiana?
Oh, I went to that. Do you guys remember that local that was like being
Mhm.
talked about, the coronavirus local or
Oh, the
whatever?
AGN one.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Asian Indie. Like I was,
Yeah,
I
I remember
like
that.
we went to that one. But the thing is, like we were the safest team there. We were like, if we weren't playing, we were like in a whole different room from everybody else. Didn't talk to nobody. Had our mask on the entire time. Literally had like our hand sanitizer strapped to our pants or whatever. So like we were like every single time I finished playing or like I touched anything, hand sanitizer instantly. Like I was I promise you, I was probably the safest kid there. Like I was always on it. Like always sending people like pick up their mask or whatever. So
Mhm.
when I went over there, it was like there was nothing. Like we were in downtown Indiana, and like there was like two buildings and a fountain. Like it was horrible. Like there's nothing there. Like we wanted to go to like the nearest Walgreens. It was like 20 minutes away. It was horrible.
Oh, that does sound brutal.
Yeah.
Moving forward, sum up MW in one word.
Garbage.
You
Garbage.
can't get fined for that one. And last but not least, describe Haggy in one word.
Determined.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
word. That's nice.
that's a pretty good one. But with that last question, thank you once again, Fire, for coming on. Really do appreciate it. And that should wrap up our podcast.
Yep.
So, do you have anything else to say?
No, that's all. That's good.
No, that's fine. I'm good.
We'll leave all of Fire's socials in the description down below. Go follow this guy, the next AM on the come up for sure. Hope to see you in the league this year at some point. And thank you guys all for watching.
See you.
See you.